Welcome to the bedroom studio. But let's talk about our true downfall as a society, as a society. Um, I truly believe it's simply the way that we treat each other as people, as civilians, as just people on the streets. We're so condescending nowadays, man. We're so ruthless, right? Like if someone doesn't share the same opinions as us, then there is no other way. Like no one has an open mind anymore, and that's how are you supposed to find middle ground? There is no middle ground. How are you supposed to solve, adapt, and overcome anything when you think there's only one way to do something, right? And we've seen this. We've seen this with this pandemic. We've seen this with politics. We've seen this with other stuff in our history. We can't get along, and that's just in our society alone, right? We're supposed to be together. We're supposed to be encouraging to each other, and instead, we're so just brutal with each other, but not brutal honest. It's brutal in the sense of like, if you don't have the same thoughts, opinions, and beliefs that I do, then you don't matter, and your opinion doesn't matter. But what happened with freedom of speech then, right? I mean, of course you're totally entitled to your opinion, but people literally make you feel like you're not, right? Even if you're making valid points, even if you just have an opinion, you can't voice it anymore without feeling like, man, I think I'm going to get harassed for doing this. And you got a whole lot of people that nowadays, and it's getting worse and worse as time goes on. People, especially when you get on social media, TikTok, YouTube, any sort of social media platform, you have to almost be ready for the judgment. And that's kind of a sad thing, right? Because social media was, I remember it was created with the intent of connecting us all, right? When you couldn't regularly see your family and your friends, you can just go on Facebook or whatever and see pictures and videos and posts and kind of connect with them in an easier way rather than just a phone call. And it was a very cool thing when it first came out, right? You can personalize it, you can put up photos, you can be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Like it was pretty cool, but then it became so political, right? Everything seems to become political, and then it gets to a point where if you're gonna put something out there, you almost second guess yourself, and you don't even want to like be genuine anymore because you're scared of the reaction that you're gonna receive from being that genuine person, and that's what sucks. And that's caused from nowadays the fact that there's so much entitlement out there. There's so much, you listen to me and you think how I think, or you're an idiot. And it's a very condescending mindset. Like we should be able to find middle ground. We should be able to get along with people no matter what they think or how they feel. But that's why we can never be united, because we can't do that. It's ridiculous, and honestly, we're making ourselves look like fools because we can't even do a very simple thing like, hey, treat each other with respect, even if you don't agree on something. It's what it is, right? We're all different people. We all have different minds. We're not always going to agree on the same stuff, but why are we going to be so condescending towards each other? I think if we're going to be able to have a society that we want to have, which is a united society, free of judgment, free of so much harassment and like bullying, especially cyberbullying, and because you got a lot of people, especially nowadays with social media being where it's at and technology where it's going, people dealing with higher levels of anxiety, higher levels of depression. If we want to get better as a society, we have to learn how to just treat each other good. Just good, You don't have to be next level great to people, even though that would be amazing. Just learning to be content and okay and good to people that you don't know because you don't know what they're going through, but we still don't know how to do that. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have stress things on my mind like higher gas prices and whatever else, but I am honestly so much more concerned as a person and as part of like a society. I'm so much more concerned with the way we're treating each other over topics that it's just downright ridiculous, and we cannot find any middle ground. We're so ruthless with each other. We don't even treat each other like people. We treat each other like, like if someone has a different opinion, people treat them like they're just they're out to get you, man, and it's crazy. If you guys ever watch those TikToks or even YouTube, like people will do anything that they can to reach success on these platforms too. It's insane, right? Everyone wanted to be famous at some point, and people still want to be famous, obviously, because most of the creators or some of the creators on these platforms literally create channels and content just to tear down other public figures or other famous people or just regular people and embarrass them just so they can get views and follows and likes and subscribers and the whole spill, and just try to get paid and try to lift their own name up. And we're failing so bad in the most basic concept of being a society that is just be respectful, be a good person. I don't know. There's no other way to put it, like literally just be a good person. Is it that hard to not be so condescending to someone? I mean, if you really don't like what they have to say, you don't have to listen to them. You don't have to retaliate. But we do. And when we do it, it's in such an aggressive and brutal way. And like I said before, you don't know what that other person is going through. But, we do whatever we can to make ourselves feel better, even if it's at the cost of our own neighbor. And it's a crazy road that we're taking, We got a lot of worries out there. Like I said, we got gas prices, and who knows where our economy is going to be in a year. But honestly, who cares about that stuff if we can't even get along to the lowest possible degree, right? It's crazy. It's crazy.